Welcome to Healing with Angelica. Peace, healing, and life, family, and welcome back to another episode of Healing with Angelica's podcast, where we discuss all things healing. And if you are new to the show, welcome, beautiful souls. So before we get started on today's powerful episode, please, you guys, be sure to share, like, follow, and subscribe so you won't miss out on any upcoming episodes on any of our your favorite podcast station, on Closing the Gap broadcast on YouTube. Also, we are partners now with Knowledge for on YouTube, and of course, Healing with Angelica on Facebook and YouTube to help spread the light of healing to others in need. Also, if you are ready to start your healing journey and don't know where to start, Healing with Angelica is here to assist. Get started on your healing journey today with my one-on-one The Healing Journey program by texting the word HEAL to 937-313-2466. Also, I would love to invite you all to our healing circle. It is a sacred space for us all, men and women, to collectively heal together. The healing circles are every first of the month, 6 p.m. Eastern. To join, text the word circle to 937-313-2466. So on today's episode, we have a powerhouse sister joining us today. My sister, Sister Kenetta Muhammad, as we'll be discussing today's topic. Home is your base, not your place. Sister Kenetta, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Sister Angelica, for having me first. I greatly appreciate you for getting me to step out into the space. I'm excited to have this conversation, and just thank you for the work you're doing. Like that's beautiful. The healing part is what we need. Definitely in our community. Definitely.
Yes. Praise be to Allah. It is a pleasure to have you on the show, sis. Now, for those who may not know who my sister is, you might let our audience know just a little bit more about you.
I'm just your humble sister. My name is Kenetta Muhammad. I am a member. I attend Muhammad Mosque number 15 here in Atlanta, Georgia. However, I was born and raised in New York, grew up in Long Island, New York, and I was a college athlete. Like, I played basketball. My parents, they're in the nation, and so I grew up just enjoying sports and life. And then I went on to graduate, and I started to work for the NBA for a couple of years in the WNBA. So I was just enjoying, like, just pursuing a dream that I thought was a reality for me. But then I had some like realignments in life, and I decided to just take a step back. And that's when I joined the Nation of Islam. It was just a beautiful journey for me. However, being out in the world, like leaving home for the first time and going out into the world, it was an experience. Like, the world is worldly, and I think that we want to taste it for ourselves. And I got a taste of it, and it just, I just had to come back home. And so I joined the Nation, and I've just been taking my time to just become myself, and Now I'm in a financial industry, and it's just peaceful for me, and so I am enjoying being a Muslim girl in training.
Um,
And so, shout out to my parents, Brother Kenneth and Sister Loretta. Uh, they've been helping me along this journey, and my three sisters as well. And so I'm excited for this conversation. I hope that was enough about me. We'll get to learn more, and we'll go from there. So,
Yes, yes. I love it so much. So just humble and beautiful, right? Just hey, I'm simply your sister, right? Okay. So I love it. Thank you so much again for joining us, sis. And
yes.
now get started on today's episode. Home is your base and not your place. Please, for my audience today, do not hesitate to put any questions you may have for our guests in the comment section below. Now, don't let me be the only one asking questions. I tell you guys that every time, okay? This is us together. So
Yeah,
ask your question, right?
about it. I was like, I don't know. It'll be something to pop up for you to put a question, but don't embarrass me, y'all. No,
Now,
okay.
there you go. Don't embarrass our sister now.
No, okay, okay.
Yes. All right. So on today's episode, we'll be discussing a powerful topic based on our sister's profound book, Home is Your Base, Not Your Place, which is a profound testament to the transformative impact of rooting yourself in your home. When you make home your foundation, you nurture not only yourself, but also your family, your community, and ultimately the nation. The home is a cornerstone of growth where love, strength, and creativity flourish. To usher in the kingdom of God, we must first make the home our base. It is from this sacred space that we can step into the world without losing sight of who we truly are. Home is where love begins, where strength is built, and where creative power, ignites. Home is your base, not your place. Explores the profound importance of our roles within a home and how creating a peaceful, nurturing environment is essential for the development of self and those around us. Both men and women play a vital role in this process, shaping a future of purpose and unity. When we lose track of our homes, we risk losing ourselves. Today's show and book will guide you back to the heart of it all, which is home. Praise be to Allah. I love it. All right, sis. So I just want to go ahead and just tap into just your space. Always trying to find like the root of where this all started. I know you kind of spoke a little bit about your journey, I guess, back home as far as in the nation, right? And from that space, reading the preface of your book is where you was able to reclaim your space again. So do you mind just elaborating on just more exactly as to what called you to write this book, Home is Your Base and Not Your Place?
Yeah, sure. First, I want to thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Most of what I share is what he's taught, and I'm just giving my personal testimony and bear witness to the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And so I'm just thankful to Allah for him. And so I heard the minister say, and I want to just share this quote real quick that he said, and this is really the basis of my book. And the minister said, the home is the home is not a woman's place, it's her base. Her place is wherever her gifts will take her, if she is free to be who she really is. um i i I get these, and I was talking about it on Sunday at the mosque, and I said that I get these ideas and I'm like, and I feel like I have to manifest them. And then I just ideas, I feel like literally there's Allah telling me, giving me these talents, and like go pursue them. And I'm a writer. I've been writing since I was in high school, writing for the newspaper. And along the way, I've just been writing, and I actually express myself better when I write. And so I knew I wanted to do a book. I just, for a while, didn't know what I wanted to share. And then I remember that when I joined the nation, the first lecture that I really, really, really heard, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, was 9/11/11. And my birthday is actually on 11/11. So sometimes like the numbers align. However, I was randomly home, and I came to see my father here in Atlanta. I had a break from traveling. I was traveling with a basketball team and working for a team. And my dad was like, "You want to go to the mosque?" I'm like, "Sure." No, you know. So when I went, I literally they put me in the front row, and the minister was talking about the divine value of a woman.
Mm.
And in that moment, I cried the entire lecture,
Mm.
the entire lecture. However, I realized that leaving high school, like, and going out into college, that I was wanted to have this freeness about life. However, the things that I was experiencing prior to was a protection for me that I didn't understand. So I just wanted to taste for whatever reason. And, you know, some things are not meant for us to taste. It's not meant for us to even, try to tamper with, because our, our families, our parents have been through things. We're learning through the teachers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad things, and they're giving us a heads up. But some reason, somehow, we just want to test it out. And so I just lost sight of who I was. I became like of the world. And that shook me a little bit. I was like, life has to be more than going to the club, going to happy hour, getting off work. Where's the next, like, where are we going to get lit next time? Like, life was just more than that for me. And so that time when I went to the mosque, I'm like, whoa, the minister like laid it out what our purpose was. And so I recall that moment. I think like it was at the end of Ramadan last year. And I was like, I think that's what you need to share with people, Kenetta. And I recall that quote of home is not your base. Home is your base, not your place. And then, like, we don't have to be stuck in a home. Like the minister said, like, women, we should go explore your talents. And, there's a space that has to be created to do that. And so that was just the quick idea behind the book. And I just want to share that with people. I love seeing like Black girl joy. Nothing against like the men, the women, because Black boys joy is just as important. Like I just love seeing Black people just live within their power. I love seeing Black people endure. Like I just love seeing Black people be in their space. And so that's why I just wanted to share how I got into that space. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Praise be to Allah. And you're sharing like a space and a place where we all can relate. I can honestly say, like, by the grace of Allah, I've been in the nation for 2 years. And even before joining the nation, of course, I was in the world, all up in it. Okay. All up in
Listen,
it.
we both were.
All up in that. And it was like, it wasn't until, for me, the same way, it wasn't until I heard the minister speak about the divine value of the woman. I said, hold on, wait a minute. I ain't never in the, I've never heard anything like this before.
Yeah.
And it took me back to a space where I'm like, that's my true self.
Right.
So this whole time I'm operating in this world other than myself.
Right.
And you said something in the preface like this, because I had that vision before, like, oh, I want to be a boss at a big corporate
Yeah.
office,
Yeah.
like what we see on TV. Like,
I'm telling you.
no, that's not, no.
Listen, so all these these bosses lonely. I was like, that's not the life I want to live. Like, I don't want to be this independent. I don't want a man. I don't want to be that. Like they like I've had many bosses like that, and I was just like, so this is your life, like work, and then I got fired from work. So I'm like, so what are you gonna do now? You know,
Exactly.
it's just so like rooting yourself in a job.
Yeah.
No, and then when we realize that, and when something is taken from you that you've been working so hard for, you got to reevaluate. And so you're right, like, I'm cool. I like the soft girl era.
Okay. And that's exactly what happens when these teachings are like listened to by women. Like, we get into that soft girl era because we're redirecting ourselves back to who we truly are. So I just love the whole concept of your book. And again, like, the home is our base. So I wanted to go into my next question.
Sure, let's do it.
We think about home. everybody has their own meaning of home. And even one thing I also thought about was like how I did not I paid rent and I was at home at nighttime to sleep, but I did not like being home. And when you go into depth of just about the importance of home and making it your sacred space, like it meant something different for me. So what does home mean to you, and how has that meaning evolved throughout your life?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you said sacred space, I think that's interlude to that. I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say that our homes should be our mosques. Like our homes are our first mosque.
Yep.
And if we don't see our homes like that, we got to reevaluate things. And the home should be the place where we're cultivating our families, but also cultivating ourselves first. And I think COVID was a sign for us to do so, because what happened, everything shut down and we had to face the realities of our homes. And when that happened, I was like, wow, I was so thankful to Allah for that moment. There were a lot of bad things that came from it, but there were also some good things. I'm like, oh, I got to do this. I have to rearrange this. I have to put this together. I have to create this space. And I think it's just so important that as we think about the concept of home, that is not just this structural place that we're paying, like you said, paying a rent, paying mortgage for. It's really like peace. I feel like peace when I come home. Like people know me, like I'm okay being at home. This like I'm okay, like not going out the house all week. However, I do go out, but I'm okay with just sometimes just being at home because you can't touch me there, and I'm just protected. I just feel safe, and I can control that environment. And being a child and being in a home, a Muslim home, and growing up there, um, my parents really, kept the home as our foundation. Like we would come home from school, what you learn at school, they would retrain our minds to, the things that the world has given us. And so your home is whatever you want to make it. However, it is our base. Like it's where our roles, is where our families are. Like I talk about in my book, the first chapter about grandma. Like grandma's house, like I don't know if you all have, I don't know if the listening audience or you, like I couldn't wait to go to grandma's house. and,
Man,
and that's why I learned about home at, because grandma's house was clean. Grandma always had a cooked meal for us. Everybody met up at grandma's house, but it was a home. I don't even know when she was even cleaning. The house was just clean
yeah,
because the house was just always clean. And so the home is a very deep subject, but when you think about the base, even the base of a house, like you can't sell a house if the foundation is wobbly.
yeah.
And so while we live to create a space like that. um and so we have to keep, making that foundation strong. I mean, how strong is your foundation? Like how strong is your home? Like how strong is that base? And we just have to think about that and just create that, you know
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you talk so much about your grandmother, and it really got me to think about like when I was younger, like grandma house was the spot. Can we go back to soul food? Y'all know about Big Mama house, okay? That was really, really was. Like everyone's going to wants to eat. You can like it was just this and you said it in your book, like grandma was a uniting force. It was from her, making home a home that you seen all your cousins, uncles, everybody there, right? So I just want to kind of elaborate just a little bit on that because it significantly meant a lot for me because unfortunately after my grandmother transitioned, it's kind of seemed like the family kind of went their own separate ways, really wasn't spaces we can come together to eat at, and kind of like that, distancing force, unfortunately, after she transitioned. So with grandma, everyone's grandma, right? Grandma was a uniting force. Like, talk about that as far as why. was that grandma was a uniting force? I know I said a little bit about it from my perspective, but for you, what was that uniting force from grandma uh that she played?
Yeah. Well, first, may Allah be pleased. I think you said your grandmother, she did transition, right? As we said. Yeah, may Allah be pleased with your grandmother. My grandmother did transition in 2023, which is my mother's mother. And I talk about both my grandmothers. They just had different personalities and different lifestyles in the book. However, my grandmother, shout out to her, may Allah be pleased, my grandmother Maggie, and my aunt. um, uh and shout out to my cousins because like the importance is I have a support system,
Yes.
and no matter what happens I have a support system. And grandma created that because she told us, this your cousin, y'all don't fight. That's your sister, you don't fight. Whatever you're going through, you have to get through it. Like no matter what. Like we were you can't choose your blood. You can't choose who you were born in to be family with. However, now we have to figure it out. You
Mm,
know, there are certain instances where, you could choose who you create with. However, like when I came into this world, it was like these are your cousins. I have 10 aunts and 8 uncles. Um, and it's just love. Like I have never experienced so much love since I've been like it's so important, I think, like that family that grandma creates because since I was a child, my family has been pinching my cheeks, telling me how beautiful I was. So I didn't have to go out into the world and like so I wish somebody would tell me I was beautiful. Like I'm not saying like I'm not boasting or trying to, I'm saying that humbly.
yeah.
Um, even if I wasn't, like they just said it. Like they told me they love me. And so I didn't have to go out into the world like looking for love,
Mm,
because I mean, I think we're all looking for love, but I wasn't like something that was traumatizing in my life. And so grandma was love. Like grandma is the foundation of the family, whether we want to believe it or not. And she's just taught me that this is your role. Like we have to embrace the roles as like heads of family, like the matriarchs or of family, as women, and then allow the man, and then create that space for the man to be empowered in his role as well. Because my grandfather, he didn't worry about anything. Like when I talk about like cleaning, cooking, he might go fishing, bring the fish back, and grandma have it ready, put the fish and cook it. And that's what we experienced. Grandma had a pool at the house, and so um I didn't go to daycare growing up. I don't know what that was like. And I don't know about my cousins. I don't think they knew what it was like neither because grandma had us,
mm,
and she always was there and available. That was her career. Like her career was her family. Not to say that she didn't have any jobs or she didn't take on any other things. However, her family was the most important thing to her. And I think it's important that we kind of continue to create that space. I think we're starting to forget um, that the Black family is important to this nation. No other family has endured more than the Black family,
mm.
and um, like they have a 400-year head start on us, sis. And we still here. like we're
Hey,
still we're still right here, and that happened through family. And so when I talk about grandma was consistent, boy. Like grandma didn't play. Grandma was rooted in God, and I think that we're just taking God at the center of everything we do as a family. And so my family didn't know, like somebody not getting along. Like, listen, we gotta figure this out. So we're not moving
mm,
forward without, because grandma wouldn't want it. Grandma, she would cry if any of us got in an argument. And it was, and you didn't want to see grandma crying, And so, um, I just love that spirit of my grandmother. And when she passed away, I didn't know that she was reading the Holy Quran until my
mm,
aunt gave it to me. So I like take my grandmother's Holy Quran everywhere with me. And
yeah.
she didn't she didn't per se, and grandma didn't, I don't think my grandmother even graduated middle school, but she knew how to take care of home. Like
Yes.
she had the discerning spirit that just comes with just being a woman. And you can't teach that.
Mm,
You can cultivate it, but it's like something that comes from the soul of a woman. And she had that. And she was a Christian, but the minister said that a good Muslim, a good Christian is a good Muslim, and a good Muslim is a good Christian. And so I've never seen her get caught up on titles. It was, she was rooted in God, and I just loved that for her. She would just walk. Now I'm getting older. I understand why Grandma would just go walk. Like
Okay.
now I'm in my 30s, and I'm just like, let me just go walk. And and so now you just realize that Grandma was just taking time with life, and she was giving us more life abundantly. And and she had joy just watching us be joyful. And she had pain watching us argue over little things. And so, we just got to get back to that. That's all.
You
Hey.
broke. Mm, you
Yeah.
broke it so much. Is that we kind of lost our way as time continued on. Us being Black in America, we know that's already a stress.
Stressing me out. Like, come on. I'm starting to mind my business. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to mind my business because I got a whole house. I'm not even, I don't have children yet, and I got a whole house to like take care of.
Okay. Yes.
So, yeah, absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Listen, you guys, if you guys are enjoying this episode just as well as I am, please, please, please show your support today by texting the word donate to 937-313-2466 or check out the donation info on the screen below. All donations will be towards a continuation of Healing with Angelica's podcast. Listen, I love you all. So let's get back to today's episode. Home is your base and not your place with Sister Kenetta Muhammad. Praise be to Allah. It kind of takes me. Yes, sis. Was you about to say something?
No, I said make sure you donate, everyone, please.
Yes. On the air, you guys, for 3 years. Okay, I want to keep this going. Okay, so we love you all for all of those that's been supporting the journey so far. So yes. Now, you talked about so much just within the concept of grandma. I truly love how, because you also talked about just how, unfortunately, we lost our way, especially not keeping God at the center of our foundation of anything. If it's home, if it's relationships, if it's being a parent. I know I need to pray to God every time I'm talking to my son. Lord, God help me, because patience, okay? So, yes, listen. So, like, when it comes to just going back to the spiritual base of family, I want to talk about how, because in your chapters, and if you guys, we're gonna get to this, okay? I have her book, okay? I love it. Like, I'm almost done, okay? Y'all see my little notes in here. Got my favorite um chapters, okay? But anyway, so I want to kind of dive in deep because you spoke a lot about different women in the scriptures. You use them as examples in how to, you know, understand our roles in life, right? So can you just dive in just a little bit as to what space was you in when you wanted to elaborate those women in the scripture? You spoke about Hagar, you spoke about Miriam, and things in that matter.
Yes. So one of the things I first went to was the study guides that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has put out. And I started to think that when I started writing, like, there's nothing new that we are experiencing under the sun, you know. And I was like, there's a base and a standard and a structure, and really starts in the scriptures. And women have been dealing for a long time, and the women in the scriptures, I thought about that, and I'm like, well, let me pull from their experiences that's been shared with us. I think we want to recreate the wheel a lot of times when the wheel's already rolling. Just hop on, um, and especially when I received my grandmother's Holy Quran, one of the chapters that she had 3 like tabs, and one tab, it was on Surah 9 verse 116, and it says that there's no friend but Allah. And all those women in the scriptures, they got through the moments that they were experiencing because there is no friend but Allah. The only reality in our lives is God. And that helped them deal with any tough moment that they were experiencing in life. And I put that in there for not just women. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from men reading my book as well. I was really like blown that the brothers have been really reading, because like the home is not a home without the men, the
Ooh.
as well. And we do this together. And I've seen that, and I talk about that, what I've seen in my family happen, and how my mother was a helpmeet to my father, but my dad, he didn't just come home and throw his stuff to the side and and have my mother doing everything. He come home, my mother cook, he wash the dishes, and so it all comes together. However, these women, in everything that they've experienced, God is just the center of overcoming. And I think sometimes we step too far out of the bounds of our role, and now we're trying to come. Now it's painful. Like, that's when we experience pain. We just step too far out of the bounds of who we are, and now God, like, oh, you remember me? You remember what I
Oh,
gave
yeah.
to you? Oh, you like, you remember? And now it's just, but it is a beautiful reminder. And so we have to use our history to help us with our present and our future. um Even the minister said, as like women, like, I've experienced some of the things that, like, I know what you're experiencing. Like, the minister talked about like hormones, and as women, and how he's experienced it in his trials and tribulations. And so there's nothing under the sun that we're experiencing. It's just that we have to find balance, and we have to stop stepping out of that realm and trying to do too much. I used to do way too much. Now I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And I don't explain why I say no anymore. And that might rub people the wrong way. But I'm just here today to say I don't care. And I say that with all love and joy and appreciation for people. But I'm learning not to explain why I say no. Um, because stress will kill you.
Mm,
And then everybody will be sucking a peppermint at your janaza
mm.
and they stressing you out. And so, yeah, like, the lost God every single day, every
Yeah.
single moment.
That takes me to like the whole self-care aspect, right? Like
Yeah.
learning to say no. I think that's something a lot of us have a hard time saying no.
Yeah.
But it's not we I know, like, I'm finding my balance, right? To
Yeah,
know
absolutely.
when to say no, and say it, in a tone to where, like, I love you, but I just can't do it. I gotta work on me. We talk about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad talk about self-preservation, self first, right? So that takes me to my next question. Like, what does self-care look like for you? Which you kind of went into that a little bit. But and how do women who take time for self-care contribute to sustaining the home and the family unit?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like um as women, we have to set the tone in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then and I learned that as a child. And if my dad was I always asked my dad, like, um he worked, he had a business. I'm like, how did you find the time for all of that? And he like, I was out the house early in the morning, then I come back. And but my mom really made sure that we loved my dad. Like, she created this space in the house that we couldn't wait for dad to come home, and we weren't like, where was dad all day? And why was he absent? Like, it was never like that. And so as women, we have to, if and I don't have children, so for audience, like, I'm not trying to tell anyone that's a parent what to do. I'm just speaking from what I experienced as a child, because I have very vivid, like, memories of it. And I know what it made me feel like. and I saw what it made others feel like. And as women, like creating that space in the home is very important, like laying the tone and laying the foundation. And so, however, if you don't take care of yourself first, you're gonna be disappointed and upset with others because like you're gonna see everybody living up off of your joy, take living up off of your energy, and now you're upset. And you're upset
Oh,
with people. And the only person that we have to take accountability is for ourselves. And I'm talking to myself, like I'm literally talking to myself because we get mad sometimes, and the only person we can control is ourselves. And so I'm realizing that for so long I put other people first. I put what people had for me first. Sometimes people will see a talent in you and they'll start using you to their like for what their agenda is. But if you don't see it in yourself, you're gonna be used. Like I
yeah.
promise you. And you have to learn how to like balance that. And so self-care looks like for me, getting my nails done, getting my hair done, like looking in the mirror and saying, "Oh, like that you her." And that's like
Mm-hmm.
humbly because right humbly because the world will literally tell you you're not, you know? And or you'll see depictions of what we're supposed to look like, what the industry says is beautiful, or how we should be taking care of ourselves, and it doesn't sometimes look like you and I.
Mm.
And that can do a lot to the psyche if you're not like rooted. And so um self-care looks like communication. I think we don't communicate enough as a people. And so we let things fester internally, and then we're upset, and that also can create you to be sick. And
Mm.
so have to root out all the things that will create sickness in our bodies. I think a big topic is burnout right now.
Oh, yes. Break it
um,
down.
may I be pleased, Dr. Ava did a lecture. If you haven't heard the lecture, listening audience, it's how to deal with burnout, I think the topic is.
Yeah.
But Dr. Ava lays it out. Like I always send it to people that are like, I don't try to like give people like advice. Sometimes I just try to point them to where the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is talking about it, or some of his top top students. But yeah, I'll be pleased. Dr. Ava did a lecture about burnout, and she talks about the steps. And it's, I think I have it in chapter 9 or chapter 6, but she talks about the steps that we should take to help with that burnout. And so I think that's important. Self-care is making sure that you don't get burnt out, because once you burn out, you want to point the finger at everyone else, and we have to take accountability because you should have said no.
There you go.
You should have said no. Because people will respect that. Like they might be upset at first, but then they'll back up and they're like, "Oh, okay, I see they have boundaries." Like when you set boundaries with people, they learn to eventually respect it. People don't respect when you don't have boundaries. They're
Ooh.
like, "Oh, I keep walking all over you. I could just keep asking you to do my bidding," and then it becomes a problem. So like Dr. Ava talked about praying, like prayer, prayer, prayer. Like, I still have the same prayer rug when I was a child. My parents used to always.
Oh.
So when I went on throughout life, I was like, guide me on the right path. Like I took that everywhere. Like everywhere I went, when things were going wrong, I'm like, oh Allah, got me on the right path. And I wasn't even confessing to be a Muslim. I was just confessing to Allah, like to help me. And she talked about just meditation. I
Mhm.
think like we get up and we're ready. Like we get up and we go. We get up and we're interacting with people. We're on the internet. Like we're doing those things, and we're not just taking time to cultivate our thoughts and to realign them for the day. And so these are things I'm learning. Like I'm not an expert by no means, anyone. I'm just learning to step into this space and embrace it. And I just want this for others because like life is just so peaceful. But
Mm.
exercise, I exercise. um, like even just walking, if I can't get to the gym, I'm exercising. I'm walking. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, like one of the best workouts is a brisk walk. And
Mhm.
um, being an athlete, I tore my ACL twice and I tore my meniscus. So I've had knee surgeries on both of my knees. And I didn't really understand the walking thing until I went to the doctor, and he was like, "You're developing osteoarthritis in your knees." He was like,
Mm.
"Stop running." And I was like, "I need to start running. So how am I supposed to stay in shape?" And he was like, "Just
Right.
walk." He was like, "Just walk." And I'm just like, And then later on, I heard what Elijah Muhammad said, just a brisk walk. And so that's been my cardio, just walking, and like my body feels stronger. I don't know, something about the running. I don't even know we were like meant to be running, jumping, and doing all this
Mm.
extra stuff that we do to our bodies. And then we're having these surgeries and having these things that we don't know why it's happening. Ever since I just started walking, like my body just feels so much better. And then my attitude feels better. And then life just feels better. And then I'm just getting things done because like my body's creating different things that I don't know it's creating to get things done. And so, and then resting. Like before the interview, I have off today, Sister Angelica, and I was sleeping. I was
I'm
resting.
right.
I was resting. Like, I think we take for granted like how important rest is because we're always doing everything for everyone and we're always moving and shaking. But rest is like been great for me. Like I can feel my body just like rejuvenating every time I sleep. And I can feel when I just need to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
and so I think those are just some of the things and I just even talked about in the book just about um just different things we could use for self-care and just slow down. I used to be running around trying to get stuff done, doing this, clothes wrinkled, um running around, car dirty, running around, just stop. Take your time. Like it's like that song, take your time, what's the rush? Like it's no like there's no like stop rushing through life, everyone. Like live in the moment, on your clothes, like put your stuff out the night before. Know what you're gonna eat for the week. Meal prep. Know it's like just take your time to plan, and like I promise, like things will become so much easier. And so I just talked about that. So
Talked about so much. And listen, you guys, hey, this is about to give me the meal prep. When you told me how to do my navy beans and what I can do, I said, oh, I need to go ahead and go get me some containers, some glass. Let me go ahead and do this now.
I have a whole box of containers right over there. Everybody know. Can you please bring bean soup? Yeah, because I have a whole refrigerator. Well, right now I don't, because I'm about to go out of town. But I probably cook like a big pan of bean soup, a big pot of bean soup, maybe once or twice a month, and I freeze it. And everybody like, you got bean soup? Absolutely, I do. You want some? And it's you freeze it. It's good for about 3 to 6 months. But I mean, it doesn't last that long for us in here. But
Yeah.
like it's just for that week, that month, just to always have bean soup. That's our staple. Why would we not always have it? Like if the navy bean is the most powerful food that we can eat, like why would we not always have it available to us?
There you go.
You know,
Hmm.
I try to prioritize that.
I love that. I love that. Like I said, like being able to again take some time to rest. Those that in this has nothing to do for anybody who doesn't have any children, but I know for me that meal that oh I am about to do this now. So next week I'm about to start meal prepping because when time goes by, you be like, oh snap, time is going, and also trying to understand like it's not I don't have to rush
Yeah, yeah,
trying to rush through life. And I told myself, I even said this at my past event, like what I wanted to work on was not trying to rush so
yeah.
much of just flow and trust that everything is going to happen. Like I find myself getting myself upset when I don't get nothing done. Like, oh my God, I'm supposed to do this today. No. So like I will ignore what I was supposed to do just to finish something up. Right. That
Absolutely.
they call it what was it type B, the type B type of personality, trying to get all everything done. But I love that, and I want to also because we also talk about just you spoke about how your mother and father like they balanced each other out. You spoke a lot about how your father helped your mother, cultivate her skills and what she loved to do, because they were teammates, unity, they worked together. Unfortunately, now in this space that we're in, this generation that we're in now, we're not seeing the unity of men and women together. we're seeing, our generation not having that male influence, or that womanly influence for the children, in order to create that balance, right? And you also said in chapter 1, you spoke about how the in today's world, it takes both men and women to manage a home, creating a balanced environment, in which is so imperative. So I wanted to know, and we'll kind of end it on probably another question, who knows, depending on timing. But I wanted to know, like, how can we begin to teach our daughters and our sons the value of home as a foundation rather than a limitation?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just gonna be dead like honest with everyone. Like I'm not here to like profess that I have the answers. However, what worked for me is like seeing people as examples. I think we don't have to do like stop all the talking and stop telling people what they should be doing. Just be that and live the life. Like for me, my dad is a Muslim, and so is my mother. However, I watched what they did. I didn't listen to what they talked about. I just watched what they did. And I think that we have to just be doers of the word and
Mm,
stop trying to like impose the word on people. Like, so like when I say I don't know, because I don't know. We're still working this out. Like we just came out of years of chattel slavery, and we're trying to do the best that we can with what we have. And so I think that also with that is giving each other grace. We're so hard on each other. um we're so hard on ourselves. That's why, like, you have to love yourself first before you can love others. But when you not happy with what you're doing in life, when you're upset that you couldn't accomplish something, when you're not manifesting the things that you want to manifest, you're mad at other people because you don't want
mm,
to take accountability for your own failures. And we had to start taking accountability. Like, if you're gonna do something, do it. Like, listen, everything that I've set out to do, like, I've done it. But it's taking time, like it's taking pain, it's taking tears, it's taking blood, it's taking a lot of things to do the things that I've wanted to do. But it's okay. Like, it might not be exactly how you imagine it to be, but it's going to happen. And so for like young people, like the minister said, this is a Joshua generation. This is a generation that's going to slay the giants.
whew,
And so they're not afraid. They're not afraid of you. They're not afraid of me. They're not even afraid of the belt from grandma that's gonna come make that. Like, they just not like. So this generation is a fearless generation, and so they're not worried about what you're saying. They're watching what you're doing.
yes.
If you're saying that, oh, do this career because it's going, like, this young generation looking at people that's flashing money, driving nice cars, and you're gonna try to come give them something that they don't see manifesting. They don't see you like living by, or you're telling them something. Like, be the change that you want to see. And that's what I've just been trying to do. And I feel like um I just want young girls to know, like, there's no rush to grow up. Like, when I was 18, I was like, oh, I couldn't wait till turn 18. I couldn't wait till I could get out the house and do this. I can't wait till now I can graduate college. I can't wait till I'm on my own. I can't wait till I'm doing this. And now I'm right back at dad's house. Like, because like it's God's time, not my time.
Mm,
I'm on God's time. I'm on his borrowed time. And when we realize that, we sit in our power. And so um yeah, like, just be. My sister on here laughing. Just be. Just be present. Like, I would say, just be present and know that young people are watching, like, everything that we do. Like, everything that we do, young people, and they're analyzing it and they're picking it apart, and they're saying, you saying that, but that's not what you living by. That's
ooh,
you doing. You telling me that I need to come to the mosque. You telling me I need to come to the church. But I'm watching you come home and complain about those people. I'm watching you. I'm watching you go come, but taking care of everything else but what's going on at home. Like, I'm
mm,
watching you. I'm just watching you. Yeah, young people are watching us. like literally, and they replicate what they see. Like, as a child, replicated what I saw. So just to answer your question, I don't know, but we're working it out. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan has given us everything that we need through the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, through God that came for us. And I'm grateful that God came and that I recognized him. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Hey, drop the mic. When I say I feel that, and I'm sure you're in the millennium, right? Millennium. Yeah.
oh, you want to know my age? I don't know what all that is, but
But
I don't know what like those are. But I'm an '80s baby, so I'm an '80s baby. Like, so I don't know what the millennials and all that. I don't know where I fall in line.
yeah, okay,
I'm
okay.
just living. I'm just living.
So, but when I say like when you spoke on that being an example,
Yeah,
it's to a point now where it's like no more talking. They not trying to hear this. They want to see what you're doing. What's going on? Like, so I will kind of piggyback off that and also say like in order for them to kind of be able to see the importance of family, we have to be the example. They have to see family,
they
you
have to see.
know.
We have to see family. I often like go. I have family members. My aunt, I think one of my aunts is listening, but my other aunt, she's married. She lives in Warner Robins, Georgia, and sometimes I just go hang with her and her husband because they're a married couple, and I just
Yeah.
want to be around married people. I just want to. I try to put myself in positions to be around family, or just my family. I just try to spend as much time. Because we're trying to change. I remember when I was younger, like, you know, you're younger, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to change the world.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to change the world. I want to help heal the world. As I get older, no, I want to start with my family. I want to help.
Mm,
I want to help heal the things that we've gone through and that we've experienced. I want to help us to become closer. I want to help us to create generational wealth. I want to help my family overcome things that have been, plaguing us. I want to help us to forgive more. And I've been taught that by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, that it's all just starts in the home. So I can't go out to work. I can't go out to church. I can't go out to the mosque. I can't go out to do anything else unless I take care of what's happening with my family first. Because God and family and nation, and and I feel like that's for me how it's been taught. But I think like that is just great steps to now help change the world. It's baby steps. Like, I think sometimes we skip because we see this large picture, but what about what's happening right in front of you?
mm,
Like, we take for granted like everybody that's right in front of us, even ourselves, because we just give, and it's leave nothing for ourselves. And I refuse to do that. I'm not going to do that. I love life. Like, I love life. I've never had a moment where I didn't love life. And
mm,
so, you know, um, but I thank my parents because when I've had the ideas, they let me explore those ideas, even to like the detriment of me. They were like, Kenetta, I think you need to let that go. You know, I think it's time to let that go. And sometimes you do need that voice. But um in the book, I think you said it earlier, like when my mom is four of us, me and my sisters, and when she, got at that stage of like rearing us and we were old enough to kind of, you know, do things for ourselves. She wanted to do hair, and my dad put a hair salon in our house, and he created that space for her to do hair. And so I think it's important, like, that we're creating spaces together as men and women, so that we're not plagued by the world, and we're not, trying to navigate the world by ourselves. But I thought that was like so, like, as I got older, it might have been simple and small then, but as I got older, I was like, oh, that was dope. Like, go ahead, dad. And my mom was just doing hair. Like, I looked at, and I didn't have to go anywhere. Like, downstairs, get our hair done. Our hairs were done for everything we needed to do. So, and I just learned from that. If you want to do something, just create the space to do it. And we don't always have to do it by ourselves. Create a support system, and everything else will be okay.
I love that. I love that. Like, what home is your base, not your place. Like, I love the again, the unity and being able to come together and actually playing our divine role as men and women, so we can be able to live in a harmonious type of environment, you know. And I believe when you spoke about your parents, they definitely set the tone for that. I mean, look at my sister, like beautiful. Okay, I love it. I love
Ooh, you let me tell
Oh, you, yes, you know, just like how you
you.
are grow up, how you grown up, you know. Just
Yeah, yeah. It took a little time. It took a little time. It just take it just took a little bit of time. It
you
just
said
takes
who?
time. Growing up just takes time, and like I just want everybody like don't put a stamp. Like don't take what the world telling you got to do things at that time. Um, I do receive pressure sometimes to be at a certain place and be doing a certain thing, but you don't like nobody's walking in my shoes. Nobody knows who I am truly. Like people are trying to find out and trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to figure it out. However, I'm learning to not allow people to put pressure on me as to where I need to be in life. Because I'm going to be right where God needs me to be. Um,
Mm,
and if I'm connected to God, I'm gonna be right where I want to be. And so I'm just learning to not be in a rush to grow up. And I love that we're just Muslim girls because that just reminds me you don't have to move at the pace of everyone else.
mm,
Um, God created a black woman in a different and special way, and the everybody's probably been trying to figure out what that secret is, and we hold the secret. And as long as we like stay in the home, we protect that secret. It's when we want to go out and do other things that has been opposed on us that we lose a little bit of that secret. Well, man, I'm so grateful for these teachings because I'm just learning about my secret. Like I'm just learning about like how I play that role in it, and it's beautiful. It is, yeah.
God, I love it. I love it. Well, praise
I
be.
said, don't go out there like my sister. Listen, y'all, my sister, one of my sisters, she's a doctor, and I love
Okay.
that for her. Like I love that for her. Like if that's like things, if you wanna be a nerd, go do those things,
Mhm.
but make sure like home is taken care of. Like just
Yes.
make sure that you know how to sew, cook, clean, take care of like just make sure that you have those talents. But go live your life. Yeah. Like go live out your talents. And so shout out to all the girlies like just living in their power.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. Sister Kenetta, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today to discuss this amazing, amazing topic. Okay, home is your base, not your place. Okay, I would also like to thank my amazing audience for joining us today. I pray that this episode was valuable, informative, and most importantly, healing to you all. Also, if you guys, I'm gonna let my sister Kenetta let us know. If you guys have not book, get this book. Sister Kenetta, please let our audience know where they can get your book.
Absolutely. And I think we talked about this earlier. So when I wrote the book, it wasn't my goal wasn't to sell books. It was just to give the knowledge and wisdom and understanding, just share my story. And so I'm giving out books today. I'm giving out 25 books. So if you would like a book, and I want it to be intentional, not just that you want a book. I want the book to be shared with someone that can really benefit. You can follow me on at Kenetta, Kenetta on Instagram, and just send me a message. Send me your name and your address, and I will send a book. I'm sending 25 books. So after that, there's a link in my bio. You can click the link and purchase the book from Amazon. However, I do want to give, and I have the capacity to give right now. And so I'm learning that you still need to give, even though you gotta make sure things are just taken care of first. And so if you would like a book, please do that. And please make sure you donate to Sister Angelica's show. She'll post it up back up in a second. But we need to support our own avenues of media because I'm sure it's your time. Your time is valuable. It's not free. Like time is one of the most precious things we have. And so please make sure that you donate to the show as well. So thank you, sis, for just allowing me to be on the show and stepping out of my comfort zone.
Oh, Yes, of course, sis. Praise be to Allah. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Now, do you have any closing remarks for us?
Ooh, accept your own and be yourself. I
Asha.
mean, I think life is just simple, um, not complicated. Learn who you are. Take your time and cultivate that. Come closer to God and just pray for forgiveness, love, patience. Find out what love is.
Mm,
Find out what love like truly is and experience it. Because patient is kind. It does not keep record. Like love is like beautiful once you like step into it, and not in like just with men and women, like sisters, brothers. Like love is really just an awesome thing, and that's what a home is rooted in is love. And so this is my closing remarks. I think that's what I have for today. And shout out to my family. They on this stream. Like, let me tell you, there's nothing like family love. Like they in here commenting. Like, let me tell you, if I don't have anything, I have family. So yeah, shout out to them.
okay, praise be to Allah. Shout out to the family for joining us today. But of course, shout out to you all for joining us today. And if you guys, my sister says she's giving out 25 books, right?
Yes,
Um, please, her information is scrolling down the screen below. Her is it Facebook, Instagram?
Instagram. Yeah, do it on Instagram. Just follow me and then send me a message, and I got you a book.
Yes, yes, yes. Please get this book. It's such a powerful book. Like, it's one of those books that you need to just keep like out to always go back and refer to. Like, this is a book that I have out to be like, okay, I need to get my communication right. How I'm going to do this?
Shout out to you, Sister Angelica. That's what's up. Thank you so much.
Yes, sis. Yeah, I love you. I love you all. May Allah God continue to bless you all. And thank you guys for joining us today. And we'll leave you all as we came. Assalamu alaikum. Peace, healing, and light. Welcome to Healing with Angelica with about healing. I know that's really scary for a lot of us because when we understand what healing is, we also got to understand that we also experience it. Because, like I said, it goes all the way back home. They call it post-traumatic
meditation. Got to say about how to eat the live.